the common thread that these interviews have, which is what's the ancient knowledge that we sort of practitioners learned from various modalities, what they can bring to today's world, to today's people who struggle. I find most of us struggle feeling rushed, feeling overwhelmed, overinformed, disinformed, you name it, it's there. Toxic overload, and so forth. What is your best advice on all this? So how do you combat it, and how do you bring the ancient knowledge into today's world, would you say?
Okay. So I choose to live off-grid, and I live with the belief that anything is possible, and I like to make sure that I can be self-sustaining even if the water's cut off or the electricity's cut off or the food supply is not available.
Yes.
And that is the way that our ancestors lived. They collected their own water, they collected their own firewood, they grew their own food. And I like to live as close to that way as possible. I do have modern luxuries like a fridge and a washing machine. But I like to know that I could survive.
Yeah, if they not available.
If food isn't available. And I often ask myself, when I'm stuck in a quandary of what to do, what would my ancestors have done? How would this decision have been made 200 years ago? And I'll often return to how we were designed to live before modern technology has interrupted our natural way of living.
That's really cool. I love that. Sort of returning back to your origins, and that gives you a very probably quite clear answer.
Yeah. And I'm naturally drawn to natural fibres, so I like linen and cotton, and I like real ceramics, not IKEA.
Yes,
if I can say that.
Earthy.
Yeah.
Anything earthy that is sort of comes from earth.
Yeah. And I love cooking in big Dutch ovens and putting that on my stove. I just love it. And if I get free time, I will watch videos on YouTube of people who have purposely made their lives that of the way they would have lived 200 years ago, and I love watching it.
Yeah, it really resonates. Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful.
Quite old-fashioned for a 37-year-old.
Oh, back to simplicity, isn't it? In so many ways, and that really clears your mind, clears your body, clears you on all levels in a way, doesn't it?
And I'd rather work less for money to be able to pay an electricity bill or a water bill, and provide that for myself instead of relying on a service. I like that I can sustain myself.
Yes.
And I know that if anything happened, at the moment I will have to live on peas because that's all I have growing at the moment.
That's all right. But you can make it.
Peas are all right, actually. They're high in protein.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm increasing my foraging skills, so I'm learning there's so much that we could survive off of in the wild.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just love all of that.
Yeah, it's very true, and thank you for that, for sharing that, because I similarly, when I have some sort of a dilemma, I go back to thinking, how would a tribal community approach this issue? And you feel like you're going back to the real authentic living and authentic decision then, essentially, because you're not distracted with anything else. So
it can also be quite sad to do that because we don't have that support.
No.
Like when a woman bled 200 years ago, the other women in the tribe would take care of their childcare or their laundry so they could fully rest, because I've learned that if you don't rest when you're bleeding, for example, the liver doesn't store the hormones properly for the rest of the cycle, and that's when PMS or PMDD can be worse.
So true, so true.
So it's sad that we don't have that anymore.
It is very sad, yeah. I did want to actually ask you about how you view motherhood and how you find motherhood. Because we don't, I find it sometimes really hard, genuinely, because, you know, I have 2 children. They're quite small. And you don't have the community to support you. No. And we as much as we can, I have a beautiful network of friends who are helping. Genuinely, they do. And it's incredible that we find it again. But it's not a fully tribal community where it really, everyone does something and it supports the whole community. And I do find it sort of isolating and lonely sometimes, and it's exhausting, especially for a woman who's run by cycles, because you need a certain time when you need to slow down and rest, and we all work, and we all expected to work the same level for the whole month. Yeah. So it can be tricky, isn't it?
It can be, yeah.
How do you find it, motherhood and the whole cyclical living?
So I plan my life around my cycle, so I won't work, I don't book in work when I'm bleeding, and I lessen the amount of clients that I see in the week leading up to when I bleed. But parenting doesn't allow for that. The children, the children don't pick up the chores when I need to rest.
Yes.
So yeah, it can be tricky, and it is a shame that we aren't able to live cyclically in all areas, and parenting is the one area that I struggle with. But I don't hide it from my children. So my daughter's very familiar with cycles, and so is my son. So
that's great.
Hopefully he'll grow up to be a supportive partner to,
for sure,
whoever he ends up with.
Yes.
And my daughter will know that, well, she's seen in me that I honour rest, and hopefully she'll follow suit.
For sure.
And they're getting older, and they have started to support me at those times. My daughter more than my son. But yeah, it can be tricky.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. I do find it that if I don't rest the week before my period, my period is more painful and more difficult, and it's much more tiring and everything else. So, we should really instinctively slow down when we really already feel like we should, if we can, as much as possible. And I was wondering about having like a kind of a visible cycle calendar for everyone to see in my house, so they understand, you know, why I behave a certain way at a certain part of my month, so they understand, it's close to the D-Day.
So what we have is, I don't know if you've seen the line diagram of the hormones.
Yes.
So I've printed one of those off and have an arrow that I move along.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm like, this is where I am. So they can see the dip.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good advice. Good suggestion. Because I was thinking more like cyclical, because I want kids to understand that everything is cyclical. But either way is great. Yeah.
A cyclical does sound good, and it shows that
it comes back. It comes back. And everything comes back. So I thought it's a quite good analogy for a lot of things.
You might be able to put the hormones on
into that. Wave it around.
Can't wait to see it.
My own mind clock. That sounds fun. Thank you for sharing, because I always wonder how other women who are on a similar vibe, similar journey, find motherhood, because we don't have always the mothers, the grandmothers. And we seek it, don't we? We seek the knowledge, we seek the wisdom. And I think we're returning to it, but lots of the elders are missing. In a way. I find, yeah.
Hopefully we're changing that.
Yes, soon enough. I'm getting there.
We're bringing it back.
Oh, thank you so much for all this knowledge and sharing your course and your time with me and just your heart. It's just beautiful.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
really
so
had a lovely
much.
time.
Thank you for